everybody! What's up? I'm Sarah the Rebel.
And I'm OhCatrina.
And this is
Woman Up Podcast.
If you're new here, hello, welcome. I don't know where you came from and I'm very concerned for you, but this is a show where two crazy cat ladies talk about geeky stuff.
Every week we run down our favorite nerdy topics before diving directly into a main topic and then closing off with our chick picks, which are recommendations of stuff we think that you guys should go check out.
Yes, for returning fans, hello. Thank you for being here, and if you're listening to this in the future on iTunes or allgames.com, hello, future people. I hope you can talk to squirrels now.
Yes.
Because it's about damn time that we talk to squirrels.
It really, truly is. If you guys have any questions for our live audience, make sure you hold them until the end. That's when we answer your questions.
Question time. Yeah, we do. All right, so today is a very special day because we are talking about the brand new plans we have for the show in what we are calling Season 3 of Woman Up.
I put up 4 fingers.
And that should tell you all you need to know about who we are. So, let's dive in to... What the fuck do we call news? Oh, Newsflash!
What we call Newsflash? That's
Yes.
great. We're working really hard on this show, you guys.
Listen,
So
I've been drinking.
I've been drinking
4 sips of this watermelon shit. First up.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Did you guys know that Zendaya might be Mary Jane in the new Spider-Man?
Which is cool.
Yes.
Right now she's being codenamed Michelle.
Michelle.
Which could also be a hint toward Michelle Gonzalez, who is Peter Parker's roommate, later on in life. But I'm pretty sure, we're all pretty sure that she's going for Mary Jane because Michelle is not that large of a character. So
Unless they're just going to switch things up really hard, but I don't see a reason to.
No.
Mary Jane's main thing is she's a redhead, which the movies didn't even care about. They made her blonde.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a big deal. Also, listen, this is a very frustrating thing to hear. People like to disguise their racism by suggesting it's about the look of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know that this isn't really true because how many times have extremely light-skinned women been cast in roles that are drawn as dark-skinned women and those same people haven't gotten upset, right? Because
or Asian men, as in opening this November, Doctor Strange. Everybody was okay with that.
Tilda Swinton look like that.
I was like,
So it's very clear that you're like disguising racism behind these other little nitpicky things. But I just want to say loud and clear for anyone who maybe hasn't met a lot of black people can actually be born with red or gold hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual thing that can happen. And guess what? If you're not, now this will also shock you, you can dye your hair or wear a goddamn wig.
Yep. Whoa!
Mind blown. It's crazy.
Insane-o-flex.
I know. I'm blowing your mind.
This
today.
is, you mean people change their color of hair
You
for
weren't
movies?
born with that purple in your hair?
This is how I was genetically constructed in a
That's
test
right.
tube.
So, originally when it first came out, my coworker, Ash, give Ash a little shout out, he'll never watch this, was like, oh, you know, it's mostly actually people saying, oh, wait till the racists hear about this, but not a lot of racist comments. Within 10 minutes of him saying that, the internet was filled with angry fanboys, yet again letting us know that these angry racist people are not real fans, because all of us real fans had already found out about it. Y'all late.
Yeah. I like to call that the Facebook effect. Like when your racist uncle finds out about news a week later.
Right.
Because
like,
it's trending on Facebook, and Facebook takes like a week to catch up with what happened on Twitter last week.
yes,
So.
correct.
Old people go on Facebook, newsflash, 10 p.m.
I did drink it with my pinky up. That's how I live my life.
Yes.
So that'll be very exciting. It would make me very happy to see her as Mary Jane, simply because they did state that they wanted to try and make Queens look the way Queens kind of looks. And if you've been to Queens, pretty diverse looking area. You could see 1,000 Zendayas walking down the street, and they would be like 3 different races too, because that's just how it is in New York. It's a melting pot. It's beautiful. And also, it would just be really nice to see an interracial relationship. As always, as little mixed babies, we like that sort of thing. It makes us feel like we're real.
Yes, we're real. We were here. And it's also just, I mean, not only is she such a big name, but Zendaya meets all the qualities for Mary Jane. Mary Jane in the Spider-Gwen comics is a singer. Mary Jane is usually a model. Zendaya is a model. Mary Jane was an actress. Zendaya is an actress. So as far as I'm concerned, Zendaya hits all the points. She's tall, she's skinny, she's an actress, model, singer. Kind of seems like she's got the part.
Yes. I think she's got it in the bag.
Thank you, Great Dane, for your fantastic comment about my wonderful cape. I thank you very much.
So into sadder news, let's talk about Leslie.
Leslie Jones just came off of the most entertaining tour of the Olympics I have ever seen. Like, I really wouldn't have cared much about the Olympics outside of our gymnastics team were it not for what Leslie Jones was doing at the Olympics. And she was sent there because she is a fantastic person who puts positive vibes and excitable things into this world. Upon arriving back, she was hacked by likely the same people who started the targeted harassment toward her on Twitter that got certain ugly people banned. So it was really bad. They posted nude photos. They posted her Twitter passwords and all sorts of things.
Phone number, passport, ID card. Basically everything that anyone could ever need to make her have to choose even a new identity. Like anyone could now start all sorts of accounts in her name, could possibly even start credit cards in her name with that information. It's pretty bad. And also just the invasion of privacy. They hacked her iCloud. You know, that's stuff that she meant to be very personal to herself. And the fact that they felt so comfortable and so safe doing it, I think is really indicative of how much our world doesn't give a fuck about this harassment of women that keeps happening over and over and over. And somehow we can get all the goddamn gifts taken off of Twitter, but we can't seem to stop people from harassing. And we act like this isn't a big deal, and so it escalates into something that is a big deal, like this. I'm getting goddamn tired of seeing it.
I'm really tired of it, especially because you can tell this here is targeted harassment. This hasn't happened to Leslie once. It hasn't happened to her twice. It's happened to her multiple times because she is a black woman who continuously dares to come back every time they knock her down and have an opinion and be on the internet and exist and be funny. So it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, like, if you guys have any spare time, go send her some love on Twitter because, like, you know, sometimes in the midst of all the darkness, it's nice to be reminded that you're loved at all. So, yeah.
Definitely. So moving on to interesting news, not even sure. We probably should have ordered these differently, like maybe sad, interesting, happy. I don't know. I wasn't planning ahead. But so you guys probably remember a little movie, Justice League. I don't know, there was all this talk about it and what was going to happen. Well, now it seems that the guy who was supposed to direct Gambit is now going to be directing Dark Universe, which is what the Justice League Dark movie is now being called. It's kind of weird because that means Gambit doesn't have a director again, which is the second time.
Yeah, it's been a very up and down movie, especially for one that's like had a lead cast already. Usually when you cast your lead, you're like, here we go. So
right, it's Doug Liman, by the way. I forgot to say his name. I don't know if that's how you say his name. Lyman?
I think it's
Lemon. Anyway, the point is, somebody tweeted this, and I was probably Lauren, and she said, God is trying to tell you something. And I kind of agree. Gambit movie. None of us feel very confident about it. Yeah, it's not like and Gambit is like a lot of people's favorite character. He was definitely one of mine growing up.
It's just not the time. I feel like this is not the time for Gambit. They've tried to shoehorn Gambit in so many times, and I hate to say it, but there are a lot of players that need to be in place before Gambit becomes an essential, like, important character. Like, we're losing Wolverine soon from this universe. We have a Rogue, but she's not necessarily as established as she used to be. So it's hard because those are the two of the core characters that keep Gambit very interesting and very like relevant with what's going on with the X-Men. So
and it's weird to say this because we all love Gambit.
Oh yeah,
but we love Gambit from our memories, right? From like the past, kind of. There hasn't really been a good or memorable Gambit story in the last 10 years that I can think of. And comparing that to other standalone characters in the Marvel universe, it does seem like it doesn't make a lot of sense to make a Gambit movie. Because if you're just trying to make a guy who's essentially a good guy, but he's got some bad qualities, a little bit of an anti-hero, there's so many people you can choose from that it seems weird to pick somebody that only those of us who have nostalgia are going to necessarily care about. I mean, the man puts energy into playing cards. That's gonna seem real lame to somebody who's never seen that before.
And I mean, what I'm saying with this comparison is like say you try and make a cable movie all by itself. Like you have no introduction to cable, you have no reason for people to care about cable because cable has a very deep story, just like Gambit, and he needs players in place. So you put Deadpool in 1st, and people immediately, when you introduce cable, that chemistry sells cable, and you can make your cable movies and you can make your spin-off movies from that. So Gambit is one of those characters who, like, because of these people, you care about him, and then you care about him on his own because you're introduced to all these cool elements about him.
So it would have been cool to see him. This could be a possible reason for a delay. If they really want to sell Gambit, then perhaps putting him in Deadpool 2 would be a good move. Putting him somewhere where you could see him interact with people. I wouldn't put him in another X-Men movie because they do such a bad job with him in those movies. Like, I don't know how you fuck this up. And also just, I don't know, Channing Tatum to me is not Gambit, and imagining him doing Gambit's voice really bothers me.
Oh, Sherry.
Yeah. Yes, if you ever get really bored, ask Xavier Woods to do a Gambit voice for you. Terrible.
Oh, that's amazing.
Don't tell him I told you that it was bad. Just act like you're excited for it. So that's just all very interesting. Are you excited for Justice League Dark or whatever?
I'm pretty whatever about it. I was really excited when Guillermo del Toro was attached, and now, like, for once, I really agree with Darren. No Del Toro, no sale. Like, very much like no Smith, no movie for me. That's it. I'm done. So yeah. So yeah, it's a bit. Yeah.
I agree. DC. I'm not in an abusive relationship with you. You can't keep giving me shit and then I keep coming back. Like, no,
exactly.
You ain't even giving me no dick, DC. No.
No movie.
I've been burned once before. I mean that about Robin. I've been burned once before. I've been burned twice before. I've been burned 3 times. I'm pretty done with DC, I'll be honest with you. So I'm gonna keep letting her go see these movies.
Oh, if it helps, I haven't really seen any of them. So I mean, I've seen some of them, not necessarily the way I should have seen them. So, but I haven't seen Suicide Squad.
I only go when people invite me to free shit.
I'm waiting for Wonder Woman, y'all, and I'm hoping to get invited to that instead of paying for it. But I will pay for it if I have to.
This is who we are.
This is who we are,
I
guys.
get invited to free movies every single week, and I don't want to see none of them. But as soon as it's a movie I want to see, where are my free invites?
Where are my invites?
Hollywood, we're calling on you now.
DC, I challenge you to change our minds with Wonder Woman by inviting us to a free screening, giving us popcorn, and showing us you have a good movie. And then and only then will we continue. I swear I have gone to screenings and paid for the movie afterwards. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, as a reporter, sometimes I get invited to these things, and sometimes they're just so good that I go again. That's the point of having a good movie, you guys.
Yes.
That's the point.
As Grandma Catrina always says.
I'm going to take my grandkids to the movies, too. If it's a good movie, I'm going to pay again so I can take my boyfriend, like, immediately. So, yeah.
We should be able to take our cats to movies.
And our cats. Yeah, I don't think Tony would do well.
My little cat child. Bailey would hate it, but I'd be happy because I had Bailey. So moving on to our next topic, which is Chick Picks.
Chick Picks.
For anyone new, Chick Picks is where we tell you about a thing created by, for, or focusing on a woman that we think you should go check out. So the first of those things is, let me type it in the chat. It is called Nerd Out. And I think I have brought up Nerd Out before, but I could not find the video where I brought it up, so I'm bringing it up a goddamn again. Nerd Out is an app that helps you find geeky events around you. It's really, really useful. There are tons of events on there, and it's a great way to figure out, like, hey, it's the weekend or it's the middle of the week, and I want to see other geeky people, what's going on in my city. Boom, bang, bing, Bob's your uncle. It's very simple, and it is free to download. And a lady made it. She is part of the Geek Girl Brunch group that I am in. She's one of the officers. Her name's Elle. She's pretty dope. She told me about this dream of hers, and then she made it come true. So I'd really like to support her. So if you guys could go download Nerd Out app, I would appreciate it. And feel free to tweet her and be like, hey, Sarah told me to download this so she knows I'm a real friend.
Yay! My first chick pick is actually going to be a quick change because I read this interview today and I didn't get the link for it. But it's up on blackgirlnerds.com. There's a great new interview with Rain Roberts, who is one of the core members of the Lucasfilm Story Group. You know me, it's Star Wars. So me and Star Wars and black women and women of color who are running the game behind Star Wars, that's really big to me. And Rain talks a lot about what she does. She talks about Kiri Hart, who is another black woman that is part of the Navigating Story group. And just what goes on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you're a fan of supporting women in color in film and the industry, go check it out because I think it's a great interview. And as per usual, like Black Girl Nerds completely delivered on that. So
yeah, they're awesome. Shout out to Jamie and the rest of the Black Girl Nerds crew. Yay. As always, their hashtag goals. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about this a little further on, so I don't want to ruin that. But I would like you to go follow this account. This is a real nice lady. We're going to tell you all about her. She was actually on Woman Up podcast a few episodes ago. Her name is Tamara Brooks, and you should go and follow her right now on Twitter. Please and thank you.
Yay. My second chick pick is to subscribe to Future Girl's newsletter. You can go to twitter.com/futuregirlshow to check that out. There's some cool stuff coming up soon-ish, but not too soon. So what you want to do is subscribe to this newsletter so that you can keep updated on what's happening. So yes. Oh, Rob is here. What up? The DCD. Hello.
Yes.
All right.
And my last one is yet another. We're doing a lot of Twitter today, but it's a good thing. So, some of you guys know, maybe some of you don't, but I also run social media accounts for other folks. And one of the people that I run a social media account for is JoCoCruise. Now, recently, Chelsea Cain wrote Mockingjay. I hope that's her name, and I'm not just making that up. Wrote Mockingjay, a comic wherein the main character goes on a nerd cruise. And she runs into all these interesting people, and she has to like solve some crazy stuff. It's really fun, really entertaining. That nerd cruise is actually JoCoCruise. And you can tell because she puts people from JoCoCruise into the comic. Paul and Storm are in there. The Doubleclicks are in there. So she actually threw in a bunch of people who are like well-known people from the cruise. And when asked about it directly, she did admit, she was like, yep, it's the JoCoCruise. So if you guys could follow JoCoCruise, I would really appreciate that as well. I tweet directly from there. So you're not going to get spam. You're not going to get bullshit. You're always going to get cool shit because you know I tweet cool shit.
No bullshit, only cool shit.
No bullshit. Can someone write that down? I like that. No bullshit, only cool shit. Write it down for me. Wow, Hector Navarro does a good Gambit voice? Oh no, super cringy. Never mind. I was like, wait, I was excited.
My third and final one, I'm going to go ahead and skip that last one and give it up for next week. But my third one is ABZU on Steam. Now, everyone right now is freaking out over No Man's Sky, which is a fun but still developing game. I have a lot of fun with it. It's really great if you have a bunch of hours to kill and you want to pretend that you're a space bounty hunter or smuggler.
I'm a spaceman.
Ooh, and it's really cool. Like, you get to build your own ship. But I have been playing this game on Steam called ABZU, and it's very much like No Man's Sky, but underwater. And I really enjoy it. It's this really big generated world, much like No Man's Sky, but it has a little more of a path to guide you on, because the great thing about No Man's Sky is you can do anything, and the bad thing about No Man's Sky is you can do anything. So it's like you don't really have a go, like, here's your path. So yeah, check out ABZU if you really like No Man's Sky, or you don't have a way to play No Man's Sky because it's cheaper and you can play it on the internet, on your computers.
I've been streaming. I streamed one episode of No Man's Sky. I will be streaming more of it. Apparently, you guys like watching me get really angry at the nothingness of space. So people free to rejoin it. So I'll keep doing it.
Yay!
All right. So now it's time for the main topic, which we call Heads Up, Woman Up. I have to burp again, so take it away.
Okay, well, we do have intro music now, if you guys missed that up at the beginning. Shout out to Superbad Larry, who made our intro song. We're very, very thankful, and thank you for going through the motions with us as we decided which one we liked best. If you guys could go follow him, Sarah has just sent in that link. There we go, iWords. And yes, we will be in Los Angeles next week, as we are every week, unfortunately.
We live here. So yes, check out Superbad Larry. Tell me you did a good job. And for any of you who couldn't hear at the beginning of this, I will try to add it on to the actual video on YouTube and to iTunes and on allgames.com, so you will be able to hear our new intro music.
Yes. But to start things off, we are starting season 3 of Woman Up Show, Numero Tres, which I decided was Numero Tres today.
Didn't even ask me.
I
Put it on the flyer.
Imagine I put it on the flyer, and I was like, you know what? It's the turn. It's time for another season. And so we've been working. Sarah's been working really hard to beef up this set, this nice recording area, and we've decided that there are a lot of things we can and can't do, and we want to do what we can to improve the show and make it super legit, because we want John Boyega to be on the show.
So with that in mind, we have decided that this show should be weekly.
Yes.
We originally did this show bi-weekly because we were both very busy ladies, and technically we are still both very busy ladies, but the more we thought about it, the more we realized this is something we really care about.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be the next Good Morning whatever show, and the next Black Girl Nerds, and we like want, well, the next us. But we want to be Good Mythical Morning. I don't know why the name of that show didn't come to me. Good Morning Time. That's the name of the show. Good Morning Time.
One day we'll start another
I was
show.
going to say, that needs to be our new podcast.
Whenever our sleepovers.
Good Morning Time. We want to really take this seriously and use this as a vehicle to interview awesome people, to bring you guys awesome content, and to really give it 100%. So to do that, the only logical way is make the show weekly. Now, before you get real excited, there's one caveat to that. Weekly streams, it's not a thing, man.
Not happening.
So instead, we thought long and hard. We talked to people we wanted to be guests. We realized patterns, which were availability, day, when other things are filming, and it just made sense to turn this into a pre-filmed show. So while we will still try to do once a month a live stream version of the show, the goal is to give you guys 4 podcasts a month, 3 of which will be however many weeks there are in that month. I don't know. If there's a month with 6 weeks, I'm not a mathologist. You know what I'm saying?
But there's a month with 6 weeks. We're going to go on vacation for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, we're not there. You don't get us. That's against the rules, months.
That's too many.
I don't know what you're doing, months, but we don't roll that way.
42 days?
God damn, so much time. Listen, I can't math. We will be actually recording the show ahead of time, and we will post it on YouTube and iTunes and SoundCloud, and of course on allgames.com. And shout out to allgames.com for continuing to host. It's really awesome.
Yes.
Even though we pick on him all the time, Derek in the chat, and I'm like, seriously, fuck you, Derek. But thank you for letting us be on your website.
Thank you. We like your mom.
Even though she don't like us. So that's exciting because it means that we can bring guests on who we couldn't ever bring. Like Amy Dallin and Erica Ishii could never be on the show because they both, Erica had shows and Amy she works at a comic book store. Wednesdays are the devil. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah,
I'm really excited for this. You guys can catch these shows on, hi Bailey. Bailey also wants to be here now. You guys can catch these shows every week on YouTube, iTunes, and possibly SoundCloud. And then the show will be live monthly, still here on Twitch, just to clarify. And what I'd also like to do in the future is when we go to conventions, it's all about building our fan base. So if you guys support us, we get invited to conventions to go do interviews. And I would like to use that YouTube channel to bring you cool exclusives every once in a while based on what we're doing. So yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, we keep saying it's adorable. Damn it, I did it again. So part of creating that change and getting more interviews and doing all that stuff is we realized we could really use a helping hand.
Yes.
So we are bringing on Tamara Brooks as our 3rd co-host.
Woo!
Tamara 2016.
Yes.
So that's why we told you to go follow her on Twitter, because she is going to be our 3rd wheel.
Yay!
And what this means as well for our format is sometimes it will be all 3 of us. Sometimes it might be 2 of us. Sometimes it might be 2 of us and a guest. Sometimes it might be 3 of us and a guest. So that we're going to have, it's going to be very interesting. We think it's going to help switch things up and keep things interesting. And Tamara is somebody that I talk to every day. And just like Catrina became like my work best friend, Tamara's my work wife. So we think we have a really great dynamic with her. We want you guys to get a mouthful of Tamara.
Yay!
Tamara would probably not like you to get a mouthful of Tamara.
Yeah.
Don't tell her I
mouth
said
off
that.
of her, please.
I don't know, though.
It depends. If she invites you.
Right, if you were invited to put your mouth. Then that's another thing. So, to get you guys to get to know Tamara a little better, first of all, you can go watch the older episode that she is on. But we thought it might be fun to allow us to reintroduce ourselves. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Catrina.
So we are going to Left up my shit, man.
What?
It's fine. So that doesn't rhyme with H to the OV.
No, but you didn't say H to the OV because you said Sarah,
and
I
was going to say S to the AR or something, which you just interrupted.
I did. Well, I wanted to make it short. Now it's long.
That's what she said. So to help you get to re-know us, and for new people to really get to know us, and for people to get to know Tamara, our next episode is going to be sort of like a question game Q&A. So start thinking about questions you've always wanted to know about us. I'll answer anything. I know Catrina is a little more like keep it fucking PG-13, and Tamara is probably the same way. You can ask me anything. You know I don't give a fuck. So start thinking of questions you would like to ask us, write them down, and then we're also just going to have a little, like, kind of like MySpace style, like those questions where you're like, oh my god, I don't know. Like, we're going to ask those questions so you can just get a feel for how different we all are, yet somehow we manage to still be friends.
I think it would be cool if we all, like, wrote down, like, questions that we want to ask each other. Yeah. So I think that'd be neat.
All right, so we're going to do that too. So it's going to be a big, fun question game, and we want you guys to participate too. Of course, tell us your questions or your answers, and we're going to use hashtag WomanUpPod for that. We'll remind you that again in the week. But you guys can participate along with us on Twitter, and we'll read some of your tweets and everything, and read some of your answers. And that way, like, we can all learn about each other. It'd be super fun.
Yes. So really, we're very excited about this new season. We're trying to really make this show a little more legit, instead of arriving late like I did today. But I blame the LA Metro. So yeah.
As we all do.
As we all do. But this will be really fun. I'm excited because we're going to still do these shows in video format for those of you who like video format, but we also can now focus on making our quality much better.
We may eventually go to that multiple mic system that real podcasts use.
Oh, that would be fun. I have a mic.
Yeah, I gotta do all this editing, cut out all the
I haven't had to do video editing for these YouTube things. Anyway, we have a whole show editing thing. We're gonna work on that. It's gonna be very fun.
Hard. Yeah. You know me and editing. Just hand me a pair of scissors. Let me actually physically edit. I'll probably do better. So these changes are happening in September. And so it'll be September 7th that we do our live show for the month of September.
Yes. And then we're going to try and keep it to a pattern so that we have you guys used to seeing a live show maybe the first weekend of every month or the X weekend of every month, so that you guys aren't like thrown off or anything. And what I really want to do is just stick to a consistent schedule so that you know, like, oh, every week on Thursdays or Wednesdays we get a new Woman Up online, and then every month we get a live show.
Right.
It'd be really fun.
And then Derek had a question. He said, so does that mean no more chat? It does mean no more chat for the 3 pre-taped episodes, yes. Yeah. But to be fair, a lot of times what's happening in the chat is not necessarily related to what we're talking about. And so when you're listening to something, it does kind of take away, because anyone listening can't see the chat.
The upside to that, though, is that we're going to be doing a lot more stuff on Twitter, like live tweets or Q&As, or I really would love to think of a chat that we could start. So we're still going to be here interacting and tweeting with you guys. We're just going to be using our social media outlets a little more than we do YouTube or than we do Twitch chat. So it'll still be here, and that'll be the fun part. Every live episode will be something a little different, but with these recorded episodes, we're going to have like a nice format and some kind of routine for you guys to expect.
Yeah, and once a month you'll still get to chat your inane nonsense at us.
Yay! And we can chat our inane nonsense back at you.
I don't have any inane nonsense. You get
I only chat inane nonsense. It's the only thing that comes out.
This is our inane nonsense cape.
The cape is awesome. You guys are rude. Get this cape and we love fun. Tell them to hire me as a model.
Yeah, me too.
Defending. You're the one insulting their cape. Don't listen to her.
Hey, listen, hire me because look at this. Look at that. That's a face.
Look at these faces.
Did we work it?
Did we work it?
We worked it. Okay.
Worked it.
So today was a pretty short one. We've also recently learned that apparently shorter podcasts are fine. And we don't always have to get to an hour if we don't have an hour's worth of content. So we're going to also be embracing that concept that we've seen from a few successful shows. And as we start like bringing in really awesome guests, we know we will have an hour's worth of content because they'll have really interesting, cool things to say and whatnot. So don't worry, we're never going to skimp you out on content, but we also don't want to waste your time. So that'll also be a new thing, is we might not always be a full hour podcast.
I mean, to our credit, every single other podcast I've done does not cap out over like 30 minutes most of the time, and it's just because you want to focus on a very singular subject. So,
we generally have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So I've never, we usually have that, but right now we don't.
Right. So, we're gonna do our little outro, and then of course you guys can have any chat that you want to have.
Yes.
So our next show is September 7th.
Hoorah!
Please follow Woman Up Show on Twitter for the announcement and any information, and to be reminded of what the hashtag will be.
And do yourselves a favor, and also please follow Tamara again, as we said earlier today in the show, so that you guys can get to know her and send her some love and welcome her.
Yes. And for the Q&A on the 7th, we will be using hashtag WomanUpPod. And then get ready and hold on to your butts, because starting in September, you will be getting a Woman Up podcast every single week.
Every single week!
Now, this does mean while we get started, you may, our geeky news may be a little bit, oh God, crazy shit's happening in my yard. The geeky news may be a little bit outdated, but we're going to work to come up with ways to fix that and make sure that we're always talking about stuff that's relevant. But I just imagine for the first month, we'll be trying to hurry up and do as many as we can so that we can really be thoughtful next month. So just be prepared.
And we're always open to ideas, just to interject there. If you have a topic that you guys would really like to see us go on or talk about, because a lot of our shows will be evergreen like that, where we'll have our news section and then go to the main topic. So we are always open to suggestions if there are certain things about ladies and media that you would like us to chat about.
I can already tell you we're definitely having a wrestling episode, because Tamara and I are really big into wrestling. And we actually might even have a wrestler on that. And we will definitely have another wrestling podcaster on it. And she's really awesome, so I'm excited for that. And I know we are also going to be talking about fall television lineup on a future episode. So we already know some of our topics. We have some awesome guests who are talking to us about being on the show that we're really, really excited about. Kind of can't believe we're down to talk to us. Continue spamming John Boyega.
Yes, yeah. If you guys did not catch my tweet yesterday, I tweeted at John Boyega. I'm sure Sarah can get you the link just now. Pay attention to it in the chat. I tweeted at him and I said that we would love to have you on Woman Up, because he said he wants to add podcasts next year to his episode 8 lineup. So if you can, respond to that tweet and tell John how awesome it would be
to have first name basis with John.
Mr. Boyega. Tell John Boyega. I don't know. I've quoted him different ways in different articles. That he would be great if he were sitting right here. And we would, I would love to have him here, but if he doesn't want to come and would instead send Daisy Ridley or Kelly Marie Tran or Laura Dern or Carrie Fisher, anybody really, just please come put Star Wars actors on our couch. But
sit on my goddamn couch.
Right here. We can move over. I can get a seat.
Great things happen on this couch.
Yes.
Mostly podcasts. We have a YouTube channel as well, and we would like you to follow that sucker.
Yes, please do.
Hang on, I actually have a better link for it, so I'm going to go grab that. But please subscribe to us on YouTube, even if you're not on YouTube that often. We only post videos when it's a podcast. We don't post spam or bullshit videos or anything like that. But the more subscribers we can get on YouTube, the more clout we have when we can finally get in touch with YouTube and ask them to give us a real fucking name.
Yeah. So please, please, please follow us. And we are going to be doing more things on YouTube. So we're going to have our podcasts. We're going to have little vlogs. I'm going to work to get us little mini interviews at conventions. So we're always going to be delivering useful content there. That's the whole idea. Mostly useful.
Always useful. Don't undermine my goddamn message to the people, Catrina.
Only it's useful content.
100% useful content. We're not going to do any chubby buddy challenges on our YouTube.
No, that's my YouTube.
Okay. So you can follow me at Sarah the Rebel.
And you can follow me anywhere at OhCatrina.
And you can listen to this on allgames.com/whoop.
WUP.
And you can find us on iTunes. I have a bit.ly link, but you could also honestly just Google Woman Up Show or Woman Up Podcast. It'll pop up on iTunes. Real simple, real easy.
And honestly, if you guys have a chance to, give us a review on iTunes as well. It'll help us climb up so that we're featured more and more people can listen to us as we work on getting our audio podcast going.
Yeah,
Yes,
baby.
yes,
Y'all.
yes.
So, we will see you on the 7th.
Ciao.
And until then, be sure that you
Party down and woman up. Goodbye, folks.
See ya.
Yeah.
Wouldn't wanna be ya.
Wouldn't wanna be ya.
What? Oh, that bye.